My name's Una Mekas, and I'm playing Janet. Janet is the wife and a mother of 2 children. I'm just really tired of everything in this marriage, everything that Kelp man has to offer. He has just gone over the deep end. He's taking baths with Kelp.
I've fallen in love with Kelp. He's become my surrogate lover.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, just personalities, people. I mean, the madness of the minds of men and women and people. It's just so complicated. Relationships are so complicated. The sea is so serene and settled and still at times. And when there's a storm, it's a certainty. It's predictable, and you just face that, and there's accountability. So with Kelp, there's something beautiful about that.
My husband falls in love with an inanimate object, which seems to fulfill him more than I can.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's inanimate. For me, it's sort of something that is alive and living and thriving, and it's, in fact, Kelp is the fastest growing organism on Earth. Within that, there's a thriving marine life, and there's definitely gender differentiation in this plant of female and male. There's a sexual essence and a living and thriving culture, ecosystem within the kelp beds. So I think it's anything but inanimate. What? Seriously?
And just recording it down.
We have quiet on set, please. And roll sound. Roll camera.
Speed.
11 Apple, take 4.
And action.
Today's a pretty emotional day because it's the day when Janet actually walks in on the man. But at the same time, we're seeing this dichotomy between him before he's met the kelp and his life then and his life after, and it's like all centered around the house.
Right now we're lighting the first shot of our house interiors. It's when his wife walks in on him bathing with the kelp for the first time. It's one of the first scenes of the movie.
We're setting him up in the kelp bath right now, as you can see. It's basically just covering the poor man in seaweed.
Well, there's a guy taking a bath with some kelp. His wife comes in. We got the camera up here, high up in the air.
It's interesting, we're doing this sort of Barry Lyndon-esque thing where we're lighting it naturally with candlelight. It seems like the best way to emulate candlelight is with actual candles. So we've got a set of about 16 candles just lit up. Is it about? Yeah. Yeah. And it's creating a natural flicker that's actually looking really nice.
What we're going for is for a continuous mood of underwater kind of thing, always keeping this water issue present, maybe with objects or color tone, and trying to underline the difference in between the main character and his wife and the 2 words that they represent, the difference in between them and their lives and their feelings especially.
We've been talking about using, keeping the beach theme and those colors in with what we're doing. So for her, we're just keeping her very neutral, but she also has this sort of lust for romance that comes out a little bit in the script when she's painting her nails or reading a romance novel. So we also kept it very feminine still.
These scenes that are happening at the house are sort of interior. He's writing a letter to his wife who's left him. We're trying to, work with a specific color scheme and throw in little hints of things to come. The big exciting moment is he has a near drowning underwater fantasy sequence where he'll transport it to a beautiful kelp wonderland that we're constructing at Pollution Studios.
It's just too dull to care. So we cue from the northern air, and the icy edge will steal our reflections when we pass on by.
Basically, we're treating the kelp as if it were any, a regular sort of marital affair, as if it were a woman, another woman, and affairs have a number of different stages. There's sort of the initial stage, which is just the lust. When you're in the middle of this really amazing thing, and you think, it would be great if it were always like this, if it lasted forever. But then things start to change.
I mean, you can look at it as a man who's really unhappy with a distant wife who doesn't sleep with him anymore and who really doesn't give him the time of day, or you can look at it as that's his perception. So obviously, when you have conflict, there's always two sides to each story.